Hi everyone! We're here with our loudmouth Italian today reviewing the 2018 Alfa Romeo Stelvio. So we just want to go ahead and give you guys some of the standard features. I'm going to start with the exterior. You're going to find that the car has 18-inch aluminum wheels with flat all-season tires. I know we just passed the front, but it does come with bi-xenon headlamps and LED daytime running lights and tail lamps. And it does have LED rear tail lamps as well with dual chrome exhaust tips. And once we get over to the windows, I will direct your attention to the chrome window surround and the aluminum roof rails at the top. And of course the privacy glass in the back. So hi everyone, we wanted you to hear the seatbelt and how loud it is. Okay, put your seatbelt on. Everything in this car is really loud.
Hence the loudmouth Italian.
Just the any kind of alarm, any kind of beeping noise that it makes is just really annoying. So if you're like a mom of 2 or 3, and even if you're not a parent, if there's anything chaotic going on around you, if you're trying to back out of a parking space and there's just a tad bit of stuff going on, no. We forgot to turn the other camera on. Oops. Back to what we were talking about. So if you're in any kind of a chaotic situation with the parking sensors and the traffic alert and your seatbelt, it's going to drive you a bit crazy.
And it just does not stop. Also to point out one thing, this is not your average SUV. It is very sporty, and as you can tell, we're in the canyons right now. So if you enjoy canyoning, like my husband and I do, this is the perfect car for it because it handles like a sedan, it handles like a sports car. It takes the sharp edges really well, and we're very much like a sports car. So if you're looking for, say, now granted this is a compact SUV, but if I were to compare it to some of the Cadillacs or RFs, you're not going to get that comfort. So if you're looking for like a bumpy, bumpless drive, you're not going to get that.
Seats are comfortable enough for you not to feel every bump.
They are comfortable bucket seats because they're not,
they don't
too
squeeze you in.
And as you can tell, it's not as quiet as your mid-size SUV, but it's a basic compact SUV as far as cabin noise.
Some of the quirks we've discovered about this car are that if you happen to get one of the trims that has paddle shifters, you're going to run into some issues with your signals. I'll show you guys in a little bit. There's some truck locking and unlocking issues when you're trying to load things in your car is a little locked, so we'll get to that as well. But as far as the drive goes, it does fly.
It does have a little bit of a torque, which it does have a little bit of the torque that your average SUV doesn't have. Granted, this isn't the quadrifoglio, but it is still pretty fast for
quadrifoglio.
Foglio sounds weird. It sounds like I'm saying
but if you say foglio,
foglio just rolls off the tongue. Foglio sounds like I'm saying foglio, and that just it's not a pretty
quadrifoglio. People foglio.
I will continue to say folio for the record.
Just don't go to the dealership or to a broker and say foglio. Folio.
And if you can see, the turning radius is pretty awesome. I do a lot of U-turns because I do get lost a lot. And a lot of the times with an SUV, you have to kind of like either take it really sharp or back up and then go again. But the turning radius is so amazing on this car. And it's pleasantly surprising for an SUV.
Do I have to press this?
Yeah.
That's annoying.
That's an annoying feature because I'm not one to use the parking brake, and anytime you put the car in park, parking brake automatically turns on, which is a little annoying, and it might take some getting used to.
I will say that the rear visibility is not bad at all. However, it's smaller than what mine used to, and if some of you are the type that need to absolutely see what's going on in the back, you're going to be annoyed. Really annoyed, because there's literally this much space in your rear view. Okay, I'm going to pull over so you can pass. 'Cause I don't need to
As
go.
you can tell, you're going to get two perspectives on this car. One from someone who likes to see speed, and then one of the calm driver. So
Yeah.
best of both worlds for you guys.
The mirrors, I know you were complaining about this, so the mirrors are placed in a way in this car where, say if you're trying to make a right,
There's a blind spot.
this is going to cause a major blind spot.
And I think this car, as far as women, because I feel like if a man sits in it, they're going to be a little bit taller. We're 5'3" and 5'5", so as far as our height, there is that blind spot. So if you have a pedestrian crossing the street, this mirror and where this panel is, you're going to have some issues. So you just have to be a little bit more careful.
That back part does have a pretty bad blind spot too.
Yeah.
Thank God for
It's a
blind
little
spot
bit
monitoring.
Thank God.
It does really jump.
Yeah.
This isn't what I like about it is that, okay, if you're really going, it's gonna go.
Nobody knows speed.
I'm not gonna do a review and not pick up speed. I'm just not gonna do 80 over there. I'm just gonna be really,
You don't have to
I'm
be.
gonna test the brakes too. But that's not really testing brakes.
It is
Its
really
brakes are not as sensitive. No, it's sensitive for you because your RX wasn't a twin turbo.
Yeah, that's true.
And you didn't have a CT that had air brakes.
Yeah, I mean, from an RX, it is a heavier car.
I think because of the electronic brakes, well, not that they're not electronic brakes, it's just the system is very similar. It reminds me of what a Prius or a CT would have.
Yeah.
And now the CTs are discontinued. Alexa CT. I can't really use that as an example. It reminds me of that, but like a more luxury version of it. So it's not going to stop all of a sudden, but it is sensitive, and I like that. For someone who isn't that gas pedal happy, it's a really, really smooth ride. But the asterisk to it is, it's not going to be the same that you would find in a Cadillac.
Yeah, it's definitely not a luxurious ride as far as it being smooth and quiet in the cabin. It is bumpy, so
everything you want to feel in a sporty car, you feel in it.
So if you're anything like me who likes the sporty car but also has a child and needs an SUV, this would be the car for you.
Yeah. The steering wheel has a really nice firm touch to it. It's very responsive. Anything that you do, it's just going to follow. I will say that sitting in the passenger seat versus the driver's seat is a lot more comfortable. I don't know if they did anything different about it.
It's not a
they let you sit lower
road trip kind of car.
No, it's definitely not, because the back seats are kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, very uncomfortable.
I'll describe it to you like this. It feels like you're sitting on top of the seat versus yeah.
And what she means by the seats is the headrest.
They're really, they're really firm.
You can't just kind of sit back and be comfortable. I mean, obviously, if you're in the driver's seat, you're not just lounging. But if you're in the passenger seat and you're trying to be comfortable, it's firm. And again, it's that sporty car that makes it a little bit more bucky. lot, and I also like to treat my car as my peasant. So if I say find nearby Starbucks, I expect you to find the nearby Starbucks, not miscommunicate what I'm telling you. So and I think it's the fact that it's an Italian car where the commands are different, so maybe it is just getting used to. But for example, I'm used to starting on the navigation as I'm driving and saying enter an address, and you enter an address. But this one, what did it say?
It wouldn't. Hold on. We said start. Yeah, we said start guidance, and it started a guidance to somewhere.
We don't know where, but we were 35 minutes away.
So it's really glitchy. I think you really have to figure out how to use it, and you have to use its language.
It's not stupid.
And I have a feeling it wasn't really made for the American public. Yeah. So if you're asking for Starbucks, Costco, some of the other things that you're going to bump into, it's just, or need on a daily basis, you're going to literally deal with struggles.
Cars lost in translation, right?
So some of the Japanese competitors have really got this down. Your NXs, RAV4s, CRVs, Cadillac. Well, Cadillac's American, but
they know the market.
Yeah.
They know what we Americans like. Italians are still getting used to it.
Yes, very nice. This unnecessary engine noise it was making when I'm not on a grade. I'm not going uphill or downhill. I mean, I feel like if you really like sporty cars, you'd like that.
Yeah.
And there's no music playing in the background, so.
We do want to touch base on the different modes. It's the DNA system the car comes with, and we'll zoom in on that once we're stopped. But there's the dynamic mode, which is the sportier mode. There's neutral, which pretty self-explanatory, and yeah, it's if you're driving every day, that's the mode you want to go with. And then there's the advanced, which is very gas friendly, and you can really feel. Do you want me to change it so you can feel it? When you switch from dynamic to neutral, you can really feel the steering wheel change and your brakes and your gas. You can really feel it. It gets a little bit softer when you change it to neutral. Did I miss something?
It is nice.
And you can really feel the car. You can really feel the engine when you're driving it, which you don't really get with an SUV.
So much noise. When you're not used to it, it'll. But if there was someone standing outside and you really wanted to show off your car, it'll get the job done.
It is an eye catcher. I'll give you that. It's very new here, at least in California. It's only been out for 3 months, so it's the body, the front at least, looks very different than what we're used to. So
you moved it to N.
Yeah, it was on D.
Ah, that's what I was like. I don't know what you're talking about because whatever was happening before was better. Okay. And this particular model, all of them have panoramic roofs, right? No. So this particular model has a panoramic roof, and the panoramic roof doesn't open all the way. We have the GoPro camera up there, so you can't really open it, but it comes up to here, which is kind of disappointing.
Pretty much the same.
Is the whole thing open?
No, just not yet. The ones I did sit in one without the panoramic sunroof, and I gotta say, I don't know if it's because I'm so used to sunroofs, but it felt very claustrophobic. It does have the auto stop feature, so if you're at a red light, your engine does stop, which if you're living in LA and you're always in traffic, it is very convenient, because for me personally, I don't like to hear the whole car when I'm just stopped. So it does take some getting used to, though. When you take your foot off the brake, you hear the engine turn on again, and it kind of catches you off guard, wondering what that noise is. But it is convenient. It just, when you take your foot off the brake, it takes about an extra 2 seconds for your car to go. So we're going to go into the specifics of the interior now. One thing that is a little distracting is when you're driving and the RPM is on 2 or 3 and you turn your blinker on, the gauge tends to block the blinker and you're kind of starting to second guess yourself if you actually turned it on or not. Everything else is pretty basic as far as the steering wheel, as we discussed.
The heated wheel is all around, which I do appreciate. Usually most cars are just the 10 and the 2 o'clock. The start engine is on this left side, which is a little inconvenient because we're always so used to just pressing something here. Yeah, literally right there. You could have put it there. Another thing, we did drive the one with the paddle shifters, and it's really close to both the blinker and the latch. So if you are going to try to turn this right here for the miss setting, that paddle shifter would be right here. So you wouldn't be able to, from this angle, I can because I'm sitting here, but if you were the driver, it would just, yeah, it would be really annoying. I did downshift a couple of times before trying to turn my blinker on. And here is, everything else is also pretty basic. We did discuss the big handrest, which is very convenient. It's not as big as you'd expect it to be. Not as big as you'd expect it to be. Yeah, that's it. You do have your USB. There's one here. There's one here. And yeah, in the aux port. And then you do have two in the back as well. This is the DNA function that we had talked about. Pretty easy to shift. The menu, everything starts from here, which also takes some getting used to. So if you have your presets, you just shift down, and you have your presets there. Don't get the volume is here. Other than that, this is for AC. Emergency light. We have the AC on for a while now. Works really well. And for it just has a teeny tiny fluffy box, which I don't like because if you want to shut something in there, it's really storage-wise, it's not as convenient, especially if you have kids. Speaking of kids, we also do have, we have a car seat in the back. This is the Maxi Cozy for your 85. It does come with a latch system, which is also very convenient. There is an option to put it in the middle as well, but considering it's a lower car than what we're used to, we did put it on the side. But you can fit another car seat here. We also have the Recliner Performance car seat, which comfortably fits here. Granted, nobody else can fit in the middle, but it is what it is, really. They do have some okay leg room. It's not as convenient, which is nice because they won't actually kick the back seat as much as they would like to. I mean, it's not even the size of a regular sunroof, as you can see right here. Yeah. These are the aux cords we talked about. They're right here, which is pretty convenient if you have people sitting in the back seat. But again, it's not a road trip kind of car. Back seats are not as comfortable as they should be. There isn't enough legroom for adults, but if you have kids, it's pretty. Yeah, it's alright. They'll be fine. Your online system is going to be here, so your garage opener. I know you said you were having an outage. Yeah, it does take a while. You need to press it a couple of times. And speaking of, I do wish the mirror was a little bit better. The lighting is pretty awful because if you're like me, you're always running and you're always putting makeup on in the car when going to work, so I do wish it was a little bit better. And then this right here, this could potentially be a problem at the stage
Yeah.
It's a pretty big hole. Bigger than most end up right here. I mean, you don't really, you can literally fit two fingers in there. So that might cause an issue. Not 100% sure. These are the blind spots that we were talking about earlier as far as pedestrians crossing, so you kind of have to look over. So you just need to be really careful when driving. Average height yeah. Which, I mean, again, I'm 5'3", so I don't like to have my seat too high. So this is pretty average. My hands are even to the steering wheel, so it's pretty average. So that's the trunk. Spare tire is going to be underneath this. And then you do have a little bit of extra storage right here in this little cubby. You do have your pull levers right here. Pull lever for the seats right there. If I pull this, which I'm not going to do because we have a car seat. I know that for anyone who has a car seat, children, the levers are actually lower, which I know helps a lot. And again, technically, I think it's meant for three car seats, but it's yeah. Yeah, so you have a little hook right here. Don't know what you would. Oh, maybe if you have a piece of clothing that you want to drape here. You do have your bolt right there, and another hook right next to it. It's not the biggest truck, to be honest with you. We will also do a stroller test. We have the 2015 Upper Baby Vista that we will put into with the stroller and maybe with some shopping bags. So just to give you an idea of how much stuff this can hold, we're going to just do like a Costco paper towel test just for you to see one paper towel, how much space one paper towel would take. So if you're more grocery shopping, you can do it Costco. Yeah. So basically, if I turn this the other way around, just to give you guys an idea of height clearance, realistically, that's as tall an item as you can put in. As wide and as tall an item you can put in. You can put smaller stuff here, but you do run the risk of down here. So you do run the risk of your trunk not closing. One more thing that I wanted to touch base on is you can adjust the level of, the height level of the trunk. So if you're a little bit shorter, it can come up to a certain height. And this isn't the highest. We're not the tallest people, so I did adjust it to medium height. So that's also an option.
So as promised, we did go ahead and put in the stroller. So as you can see, you can still fit, a fair amount of groceries if you're shopping. Now I'm going to try to put both these things on here. And you wouldn't be able to put in toilet paper, so you would have to figure out how to shove that in the back seat. But you could fit small amounts of stuff here. And that concludes our paper towel and stroller test in the trunk.
Wait.
The seats do recline. No, they don't recline. That's right. I'm 5'5". With someone who's 5'3". So if this was someone who was 6 feet tall, I would be squished back here. So it's not
It doesn't open up that wide. So if you're, which is exactly why we ended up putting the car seat all the way back towards the window, is because to have her go in and out from the middle seat was going to be a bit challenging for us. So this seemed to be the most convenient.
Hi everyone, so we're here today bringing you guys our overall conclusion of the 2018 Alfa Romeo Stelvio Q4. We had such a blast driving this car around. It has a really stylish exterior. It has a gorgeous interior, and it really does fly when you press your foot on the gas pedal. It was something we weren't expecting, all things considered, from an Alfa Romeo, but I want to say that it's not really your typical SUV compared to, let's say, the Porsche Macan and the Jaguar F-Pace. Yeah, it honestly stands out when I think about the Lexuses or the BMWs or the Mercedes of the world. Throw in a Range Rover while you're in there. It's so unique on its own.
And it really drives so differently compared to any other SUV we've driven so far. So
exactly.
It was really surprising. We were just expecting a fancy Fiat, but we were really surprised at the drivability aspect of it. And the craftsmanship is just amazing. We were really surprised. The stitching, the quality of the leather, even the exterior, just everything stands out. It's very unique on its own.
Yeah.
And given that it has the Harman Kardon sound system, it really makes you feel like you're in the middle of a concert. And even if you're listening to Let It Go for the 10th time, I hate to admit it, but it sounds pretty amazing.
And it ends up drowning out all the excess noise that the car itself does make,
which some people don't like.
I mean, it's a loudmouth Italian. It communicates with you in its own way. And if you don't like all the noises, if you're into the whole Cadillac and RX, just quiet, I hear nothing, it's not going to work for you.
See, personally, I like to hear my engine. She doesn't.
I don't.
But yeah, the sound system will drown out that engine noise if you don't enjoy it.
That's very true. One thing we kind of want to give you guys a heads up about is Alfa's pretty unreliable with its history. Yeah. So we kind of recommend that you guys lease this car versus buying it, because you're really going to enjoy it while it's new. If you're new to the SUV lifestyle, this car is going to get some... it's going to take some getting used to, because it has a really jerky steering wheel. But if you're looking to maintain your SUV lifestyle, but you don't quite want to dump it and go for a sports car, this is just the perfect merriment.
It's so sensitive as far as the gas and the brakes and even the steering. It's something that we're not used to, but I mean, if you drive it after maybe 2 to 3 weeks, you'll get used to it.
Exactly.
It does have the electronic brakes, which we thought there was going to be some sort of a delay between the braking and the actual stopping, but it was so sensitive, which personally it's a little annoying to me, because you just feel like you're getting jerked back and forth, but I guess that's from the driver. So. And
you just kind of want to go into this car thinking that you're driving a Giulia, because that's literally what you're driving, a Giulia raised up.
Yeah. Don't go in thinking you're getting into this luxury SUV. It's going to be smooth and quiet. That's not the car for you.
Yeah, exactly. You can take this car canyoning, and it's just going to give you beautiful response.
Mm-hmm. As far as families, it's pretty roomy for if you have younger kids, but if you have kids that are a little bit older, they like their legroom, it's not going to be as convenient for you. The back seats don't recline, and there isn't much legroom, so just prepare yourselves. Your young teens might not like it.
If you're looking for the type of SUV that can accommodate all your passengers and your long list for the grocery store, this isn't the car for you, because it's really lacking in storage.
Yeah, there's no storage at all.
The glove compartment, the center console compartment, and I mean, as you see in our video with the trunk test with the stroller and the paper towels, you end up kind of coming up short on space.
Yeah.
So,
but it's the lack of space really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
the drive is worth it.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to. It's gonna deter you from that, but please don't let that take away from the fact that it honestly is a fun drive. It has a combined 24 mile per gallon EPA rating, and that's gonna cost you a pretty penny at the gas pump. However, for all of you sports car enthusiasts, we honestly think that you guys are really gonna love this car.
We had so much fun driving it around this week. So we're sure that the other sports lovers out there are going to enjoy it just
Yeah.
as much as we did.
And considering it's new on the US market, we're really excited to see
Mhm.
how it's going to fare in the next
Yeah.
few years. So since we don't have a recommendation for you for its reliability, we just kind of hope that in the next couple of years we see how this fares. But considering that it really does deliver and it's not just a fancy Fiat, we see good things on the horizon for this car.
We're hoping it lasts.
Yeah. So we
thank
want
you.
to say thank you. Thank you guys for checking out our review. Follow us on our Instagram page and check out our blog on autobells.com and our Instagram tag is @autobells and subscribe to this video.
Thanks for watching.